Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Bonsai, Dr. Bonsai's Beam Emporium, and guess what? I am back on my bullshit. I had actually sold out of this game, and then this came down the pipe, and I saw it, and the price was right, and I just couldn't say no, because I have no impulse control. Don't be like me, have good impulse control. So, the big get here is this is kind of a one-shot deal. I'm pretty sure this is showing is sold out on the Games Workshop web store. This is the Legions Astartes battle group. I have seen plenty of these out in the wild at local retailers that do carry Games Workshop products, specifically the Horse Heresy stuff. So they are out there. So these are not, don't buy this box and pay a ridiculous price for it, because you shouldn't have to. If you're paying more than retail, then you're getting ripped off. I would posit that if you are paying retail, you're getting ripped off. So that being said, what comes in the box? You get the new plastic Deradeo Dreadnought and Land Raider Proteus and 30 Mark III Tactical Marines. Now, there was an Iron Armor set that was available for a little while, but those were not quite the same scale as these guys. They were like maybe a couple of centimeters shorter than these guys. These guys are basically in scale with the Mark VI Marines that you're familiar with. They're in scale with the new, I would presume, I don't have any, because I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. I'm not going to give GW money for Primaris Marines for Firstborn all the way. Anyways, so these guys are going to scale. So, so yeah, there's that. And then, so there's the absolutely beautiful cover art. No qualms. Now, I have opened this and rearranged the sprues because I thought GW shorted me a sprue, but I should have known better, and they didn't. So, first thing you're going to get is you're going to get your book, your assembly manual, and like the poses are basically identical to what you would see in the Mark VI Beaky Marines that came out with the Horse Heresy Age of Darkness box. Reason for that is I assume they all kind of use the same design language or software, but there's a bunch of things that this kit does that the previous Iron Armor kit did not. The backpacks are one piece, so they're no longer, you just literally cut them off the sprue and you're off to the races. The Sergeant Weapon sprue is identical to what the Mark VI Marine, so there's no change there. And what we're going to see is we're going to see that they did something actually fairly clever with the weapons here, because the heavy weapon arms, specifically for like the plasma guns and the plasma cannons and the missile launchers, those are specifically Mark VI arms, right? Well, the way these guys work is these guys have small little tabs of armor that you can cut off the sprue and place on their forearm, and you kind of, if you squint from 3 feet away, if you're holding the model from 3 feet away, it looks fine. And then you have this. You have the Deradeo Dreadnought, let's say that 3 times fast. Deradeo Dreadnought in the Anvilus configuration. So this has got, you know, obviously the instructions. This is not going to be a fast build. This is probably going to be, this and the modern Proteus kit are more akin to like proper like model kits. So it's, yeah. So these are going to be projects. So don't think you're going to bodge this together in like an hour. I mean, you probably could, but you'd be a crazy person to do that. So you have this, you have all the options, and you know, tank commander options, and there you go. So so there's the instructions. You get your standard 32mm bases, and then you get the sprues for the Deradeo. The Deradeo comes on 2 double sprues. So this is the body work, and you can see we actually get like a trader, like a trader spiky trim. You get a plain trim, and then you get a big loyalist or a possibly Emperor's Children big eagle on the front, and then you get all the legs and the feet and the power plant bits, and then you get another big sprue with the other weapons. And considering how many other configurations are available in the rules, we're probably going to see another release with this in the this plus another sprue, or just another sprue as a direct order thing. Then we have the vehicle accessories. So you have a guy in Crusade armor, actually, which looks really good. You have all your pintle weapons, smoke launchers. So there's a fair amount of detail you can add to your stuff, and also a fair amount of bits that you can just hang on to. Next is you get kind of the front and back quarter of the Land Raider, or maybe front and back 2/3 of the Land Raider. You can see it has the big, eagle, embossed eagles, and the eyes of Horus that you can use to denote various different legions. And of course, you can always cut those off and save them if you don't want to use them for this. And because they're hard plastic, you could probably do something crazy to where, like, you could probably stretch these over like a rounded surface, as long as you're kind of patient, you be gentle with it. And then this is like the middle third, which I think is what makes this the actual Proteus Land Raider, because a lot of these sprues are shared with the Land Raider Spartan, which is obviously a lot longer. So, and then you have the tracks, and GW, you need to. I want to trash them for not knowing how tank tracks work, but those are single pin. There would be probably called single pin tracks that, it should be fine. I'm worrying about reality in a game with space wizards and gods and stuff. So it's like, what am I doing with my life? Here we go. And this is the sprue that comes with the, you get 3 of these sprues, so you can theoretically make 3 10-man tactical squads, or you can do something else. Oh, something I forgot to mention. This is the weapon sprue for the Land Raider. So there you have that. And then, so going back, you get 3 of these command sprues. You get the bolt pistols, pouches, grenades, add-ons, bayonets, the Vox stuff, power fist, lightning claw, various different heads. So you're all kind of covered with those. And then you get 1 sprue of the special weapons. So you get 5 of each. You get 5 Volkite chargers, 5 calivers, Volkite calivers rather, 5 plasma guns, 5 meltaguns, 5 rotor cannons, and 5 flamethrowers. And these all actually, in the instructions, they actually show you how to, which arm pose to use with each specific weapon. So you can so there's actually no strangeness that you have. There's not a whole lot of like deduction you need to do. So there's that. And then you have the main event itself. You have the Iron Army armor, Mark III Iron Armor. And this is, as I said, these are the kind of the wrist guards that kind of go on the back of the arm, to show, to kind of spoof the fact that these guys are wearing iron armor. Everything is really detailed. There's a lot of line detail in here. The Phobos style bolters are really chunky. The helmets look great. Now, I know a lot of people aren't enamored with the helmets because they look too close to the Crusade armor, and I tend to agree. I do think the previous Mark III kit had slightly better helmets, but at the same time, these are perfectly fine. Also, something I noticed about the armor is that a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's too smooth," and I do agree, it is smooth, but when you look at it, you kind of like, okay, Mark III armor is, they basically put sheets of armor over the Crusade armor. So you can kind of see the Crusade armor style banding in the back. So it's like, and then the lips that a lot of people paint as decorations, to me, those just look like the metal has been like stamped, and then like the rough edge like rolled over. Like, have you ever been to one of those barbecue joints that's like that's like $25 for like a couple of pieces of withered brisket that they serve on a lunch tray, on like a sheet steel lunch tray? You know how they kind of have those lunch trays have kind of the edge rounded off, kind of tucked over or pinched over? That's what that looks like to me. and then reinforced by rivets, which just makes it look more gnarly and industrial. Backpacks, one piece through some very clever engineering. You still get the depth of the vents without being a solid piece. That looks incredible. The helmets look great. The head options look fantastic. I'm not upset, but I wonder what that is. I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look that up. But anyways, so you get 6 of these frames in the box, and that gives you enough to make, you know, four squads of, you know, plenty of squads. You can max out all these, and you can mix them in with your Mark III guys, because these guys are scale wise consistent with those. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do with this box. So I'm looking forward to getting a couple of these built. Missed opportunities. The iron armor is like the big, like chunky, like get in your face frontline battle armor, right? No chain bayonets. I know that's a weird thing, but you know, because that comes on the Mark VI sprue, but it's like, if I want bayonets on my guys, I have to use either straight bayonets, or I have to get Mark VI armor to have, you know, or I have to get a bunch of guys in Mark VI armor to make that happen. So, yeah, there we go. That is the overall unboxing, and I guess I'll kind of do the same thing that I did, where I'll review the models on the sprue and then splice it together with some aftermath, and we'll go from there. So you guys have a great evening. Bye.